Alright, welcome to another video from TekDevices.com about installing a mobile GDO garage door opener controller. This is the first step in a series for installing software and setting up the mobile GDO and setting up your iPhone and getting access outside of your network and so forth. So again, step one, I've got the detailed instruction manual available on the website for download. There's an overview that comes in the box as well. It's got kind of a condensed version of all this, and that's kind of geared towards people that will understand what the terms are. And this video is going to be kind of a greater detail explanation about what each thing means. So let's start with step number one. Step number one is find, choose, and record your network information. Might be a bit daunting for some people, but it's not too bad. What I'm going to have to do to show you is some kind of general setup for some of the things, because it involves connecting to your router and setting up some ports, and everyone is going to be just slightly different. There's lots of great tutorials on the internet. We'll get to that when we get to that point on how you find them. But for right now, let's go through finding out your these here, I think it's about 9 things from A to I. Network information. The detailed instructions explains a few ways on how you can get it if you're doing it on a PC or if you're doing it on an Apple computer. Most of the information is going to be available on your iPhone, which you obviously own. So I'm going to show you that. Let's start out with number one. Best thing to do is to kind of write this stuff down. We give you a little location there where you can write it down, because you're going to need all this information at one point when you set up the actual mobile GDO controller. So if you already have it all written down, it'll make it really easy. So I'm going to go through A first, your net mask. How do you find your net mask? Well, go to your iPhone. Here's an iPhone. Go to your settings, and then you'll see the network. All these, I guess, what I should do is I should start from here. Okay, sorry, it was already there. Settings, and then you go to Wi-Fi, and when you choose your network, in this case you can see I'm on one right now called GDNet. I've got just kind of a testing environment. I call it GDNet. Now there's this little blue disclosure button over here. When I tap that, it brings up more information. Here you can see your subnet mask. So on a piece of paper, subnet mask, net mask, that's the same thing. So you write that down. So in this case, the subnet mask is focused is 255.255.255.0. Next thing on the list is LAN gateway router IP. Well, it's also in the same location. It's here it's listed as router 192.168.0.1. So you will write that down here. The C is mGDO static IP. What is the mGDO static IP? The static IP for the mobile GDO is the IP address of the device on the mobile GDO on your local network. So this is a good time to show you the back of this. You have a handy dandy little diagram. Kind of explains how this all works. So here's your mobile GDO. This is your house and this is your network on it. So what happens is this has to have an address on your local network, and it has to be static so that it never changes, so that you can always contact your GDO and tell it to open or close your door, or tell you if it is open or closed. So you have to choose a static IP for this. How do you choose that? Well, you choose it based off of your gateway router IP. And you can see that in our case, the number is, I'm just pulling it up on the phone here again so I can show you. I think it was 192.168.0.1. There you go. So you want the mobile GDO to have the exact same first, it's separated by dots. So you want the mobile GDO static to IP to be 192.168.0 dot something. The number after the dot is what identifies each network device as, its individual network address, so you can get to each one of them. What we recommend is that you use, something like 45 to 55 is pretty much a pretty good number. So you would set the static IP to 192.168.0. say 45 as an example. And you'll kind of see more as we go along how that works. Okay, next one is the Wi-Fi SSID. The SSID is simply the name of your Wi-Fi network. So in this case, if you're back at choose a network, you can see there's a check mark by GDNet. That's the wireless name, that's the name of the wireless network. My Wi-Fi network. That's all the Wi-Fi SSID is. So that's what you will want. It's the same. I should also say it's the same network that the mobile GDO is on, that also is exposed to your internet. Next one, security type. Okay, security type is set up in your router. When you put together your wireless network, maybe someone did it for you, they would have chosen a security type, and it would be like WEP, W-E-P, or WPA, or WPA2, I think is the other one. In any event, those are really the two main ones. So you just need to determine what security type that is, that your network is. I'm going to show you a way to do that. I'm going to have to use a screencast here, so I'm going to switch off to a screencast. Screencast on trying to get the security type for your Wi-Fi network. In this case, I'm on an Apple laptop, and Apple has a really unique or convenient built-in feature. Here's your wireless indicator, Wi-Fi indicator, sorry. If you hold down the Option key, and I'm holding the Option key down right now, and then I click on this, you can see that I'm connected to GDNet, which is what we're using in our example, and you can see that the security type is WPA2 personal. So just write that down on your list of items to gather. The security type is WPA2, and great. It's also especially handy if it's connected on the same Wi-Fi, but you can get other information as long as it's connected on the same network using this method. So what you do is you go to the little Apple symbol in the top left-hand corner, and you open up your preferences. When you're in your system preferences, you open up network. In network, you can see your adapters here. The one that I'm connected to right now is Wi-Fi. You could have one that says built-in Ethernet, but if it is built-in Ethernet, then you won't get this information. But you'll see if you're on Ethernet how that works. In any event, you want to make sure you highlight it, because you see the little green marble. It says that you're connected to this one, which is the GDNet. So that's, again, the Wi-Fi SSID. All you do is click in Advanced. What do we get in Advanced? Click on TCP/IP, and here's the address of this particular computer, which we don't need to know. What we do need to know is subnet mask again, which we found out on the iPhone, but it's here again. And again, also your router type is right here. So this is just another way to get that information. It also gives you the security type. There we go. GDNet. WPA/WPA2 personal. Excellent.